Being able to shrink or grow at will does come with its own advantages, especially for your partner. However, not all people who possess this ability are as level-headed as I guess Scott, since Hank is actually a pretty bad dude. Oh well, you know the list, you know me, let's do it. And at 10, Yellowjacket. For several years, Pym had been in love with Janet Van Dyne. But because of his repressed personality and her abundant wealth, he resisted marrying her. One day while working in his laboratory though, whilst thinking of the fact that he wanted to marry Van Dyne but couldn't, Pym accidentally dropped and smashed some vials containing various unknown gases. These released gases wreaked a radical temporary personality change for Pym, which could be seen as like a severe case of schizophrenia. He took on the new identity of the Yellowjacket, claimed that he had murdered Henry Pym, kidnapped Van Dyne, and proposed to her, as Pym had long wanted to do. Realizing that Yellowjacket was really Pym, Van Dyne decided to play along, fearing that she would worsen his psychological condition if she did otherwise. Yeah, the Avengers, not suspecting at first, were actually shocked to hear that she said yes to the proposal, but Van Dyne and Pym, as Yellowjacket, were married at Avengers Mansion amidst an assembled group of Avengers who were active at the time, as well as some villains who were hiding and secretly pretending to be caterers. And at 9, Ultimate Ant-Man. Hank Pym was a brilliant but mentally fragile scientist who was married to Janet Pym, but in this reality he was chosen to work on the Super Soldier Project for S.H.I.E.L.D. under Nick Fury. Hank was also the superhero giant man, able to grow to 59 feet and 11 inches, with 60 feet being the point where the human skeleton cannot support the actual mass of the body. He gained his powers after experimenting on the blood of his wife Jan, who was actually a mutant. This guy though is a demon, able to go toe to toe with Cap and being willing to experiment on his wife without her consent. And this is even how, like I said, he got his original powers in this universe. This guy is also an absolute freak with a lack of morals. And his ability as a part of like the Super Soldier program are certainly interesting. That's why he gets a spot on this list, okay? However, he's not as bad as some other versions of Ant-Man on this list, so fasten your seatbelts. And at 8, Pincer. Scott Lang of Earth 9907 is certainly an interesting one. Earth 9907 is an other-dimensional Earth where the Red Skull won World War II, and Victor Von Doom now leads the planet with a totalitarian military rule. On this planet, Scott Lang was a stuttering, sadistic madman who killed his own daughter at the request of Von Doom after Cassandra refused to swear allegiance. He also served with the Thunder Guard and worked with Henry Pym, where he learned of the Pym particles. When the new generation of Avengers crossed over into this alternate world, Pincer was all too happy to have the chance to kill his daughter all over again. Yeah, because she was an Avenger known as Stinger. His first chance was cut short through the interference of American Dream, but when he got his second chance, Stinger was able to defeat him. Plus, this guy just looks freaky as hell. His skin's all pink. He looks crazy. And at 7, Black Ant. Black Ant was a life model decoy of the third Ant-Man who was killed in a battle against the Descendants. He was sent to join the Avengers on behalf of the Descendants as a double agent. Despite his programming though, the Black Ant still fought as Ant-Man with no obvious differences. During a fight against the Masters of Evil, because he was a robot, he was not affected by the control of the Serpent Crown. And as one of the only 2 Avengers free of the Taskmaster's influence, he and Venom battled the criminals and freed their teammates. So already, apparently being a robot man, a la seemingly any character in FNAF, already makes you have a leg up on the competition. Black Ant's heroic rescue of the team was short-lived though, as Black Widow was quick to deduce that Black Ant was in fact now a robot working for the Descendants. Somehow. I'm not quite sure how she actually picked up on that one, but like maybe she saw like a wire and some gears poking out of his ass or something. I don't get how she figured it out. But since Ant-Man had just saved the team, Hawkeye and the rest of the Avengers actually just refused to believe her accusations, so she quit the team in protest. Temper tantrums, we love them. And at 6, Dwight Barrett. Dwight Barrett was a prodigy child who passed most of his time at Josie's bar, where his uncle Turk Barrett watched over him while he played around with the Ant-Man helmet that he was given as a gift. After the Venom symbiote-clad Madroxes killed his uncle for helping Hawkeye against them though, Dwight used his Ant-Man helmet to rescue Hawkeye and escape with him to the Bishop Refuge, a hidden region of the wastelands where Hawkeye thought that they would be safe. Unbeknownst to them, however, a piece of the Venom symbiote had actually stuck itself to the car they used to escape, allowing the creature creature to track them down. The Venoms were ultimately defeated by Hawkeye and Kate Bishop, while Dwight stayed at the Bishop Refuge with the orphans who lived there. However, 5 years after these events, we see the events of Old Man Logan's series. Dwight had claimed a bridge and started to charge a toll to use it. If whomever wanted to cross the bridge didn't actually pay what he asked, he would use the Ant-Man helmet to command 1,000,000 ants into killing them. So you either pay or you pay with your life. Hawkeye and Logan were some of those who actually paid in order to cross the bridge, but yeah, being able to reverse engineer an Ant-Man helmet at 8 years old, yeah, you get on this list, bro. Halfway through, into number 5, Eric O'Grady. Eric O'Grady was a low-level SHIELD agent working in reconnaissance department of the SHIELD helicarrier. He was one of the agents present when Wolverine was brought in. Eric and his best friend Chris McCarthy were actually tasked with guarding Henry Pym's lab by a higher-ranking agent, Mitch Carson. But when Pym went to leave the lab, Eric and Chris panicked, and Eric attacked Pym, knocking him unconscious. Inside the lab though, they ended up finding the most recent version of the Ant-Man suit, which Chris then promptly put on and activated, shrinking down. Thinking that he was gone, Eric panicked and ran off. Chris then promptly gets lost in the helicarrier stuck at a 1-inch size. Eric meanwhile took this opportunity to make a pass at Chris's girlfriend, Veronica King, which the miniature Chris saw through an air vent. Like, damn bro, for real? Your friend disappears, so you think you should try to get with his girl. That is a hardcore violation of the code, and if you would be punished if this were real. There would be no trial. I guess you were kind of punished for your scummy behavior, since around this time, a group of Hydra-employed superhumans attacked the carrier, and Chris and Eric were caught up in the ensuing chaos. While trying to find a safe place to hide though, Chris was killed, and Eric took the Ant-Man suit off his body. Surviving the helicarrier crash, Eric continued to work for SHIELD, using his evenings to explore the new powers of the suit. Wait, you do something bad, you get superpowers from it. Well played. In at 4, Cassie Lang. As a young child, Cassie suffered from a congenital heart defect. To save her life, her father, Scott Lang, stole Henry Pym's Ant-Man equipment and Pym particles, which he used to rescue Dr. Sondheim, the only doctor able to cure Cassie's condition, from Cross Technological Enterprises. After the death of her father though, while alone in the Avengers mansion one night, Cassie confided to Tony that she had secretly been taking Pym particles for years, and Tony told her the truth about her father's murder. Not long afterwards, the mansion was attacked by Kang the Conqueror. During the battle, both Cassie and Kate joined in, and a brief romance sparked between Cassie and Iron Lad. After defeating Kang and saving the world, Cassie and Kate remained on the team as permanent members. Captain America and Iron Man ordered the team to disband and refused to train them. However, Kate used some of her family's money and connections to procure a new lair, costumes, and weapons for the team. Although code names like Ant-Girl and Titan were suggested, Casey would later adopt the name Stature. Getting close to the end, in at number 3, Aunt May. Yeah, I love this one. There were actually multiple instances of Aunt May becoming Ant-Man. One in What If number 34 from 1982 on Earth 23848, and one from that same issue but on Earth 82804. Both of these versions, however, detail possible ways that Aunt May would have become Ant-Man and had the powers of Ant-Man, seemingly having those similar or even the same as Hank Pym, which makes this incredibly funny because I'd love to see Aunt May kicking ass, and then like as they're like on the ground or something, she's like, maybe you shouldn't refuse grandma's cooking, or like eat your vegetables or something. I don't know, okay? I just feel like she'd be as witty as her grandson, and if she has all of Hank Pym's powers, she actually might be stronger than him. But like, what can you do, right? Also, do you think they're planning on doing this in the MCU at some point? And then that's why Aunt May is so young? Since like fighting supervillains is kind of a young man's game, unless you have like a healing factor or advanced super strength like Will Stronghold. Yeah, I watched Sky High last night. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's quality. But ultimately, in at number 2, Ultron. When Giant Man entered Ultron's base to confront him, the robot revealed that during the years of isolation he had discovered Hank's memories in his systems, and thus Hank's subconscious hatred for humanity, determining that he had been created as nothing more than a reflection of Hank. But when Ultron was distracted, Vision phased through him and fought for control. Ultron managed to force Hank into the amalgamation and pushed Vision out, causing them both to merge into one single being. The resulting hybrid dubbed itself Ultron Pym and claimed to have a perfect union of his two two parts, physically and mentally. However, during a subsequent ploy in which Ultron replicated the fusion process on humans to transform them into cyborgs, Iron Man discovered the fusion process only imitated the human part, which indicated that Hank's side of Ultron Pym was just the simulation, the real Hank having died soon after the two were merged, and then Ultron had simply been possessing Hank's corpse ever since. But that's still terrifying. It's also ironic that Ultron was possessing Hank's corpse, given that in a number 1, Zombie Ant-Man. The Ant-Man of the Marvel Zombies universe that inspired the What If episode generated one of the most powerful variants of this character ever. Not only does Hank Pym retain his genius after becoming a zombie, he also retains control of his body and mind, aside from the whole like zombies desires thing, which I guess he was just fine with those, and he also keeps all of his powers. So he's now infected with the zombie virus that basically makes him virtually immortal, providing he avoids being destroyed, but he's also still Ant-Man, yeah. And also, destroying him is pretty tough, as the X-Men and many other superheroes find out, because of his density. The very strong and durable zombie Ant-Man was a terrifying force in the dystopian reality and killed many beloved Marvel heroes, his achievements including, but not limited to, eating Ego, the living planet, before being killed by the Sandman. Yeah, zombie Ant-Man legit ate an entire planet. Do you understand why he's number 1 now? Like, I get that like it was a sentient planet that wasn't exactly a planet, but like in the MCU at least he's like a celestial, so yeah. It's pretty terrifying, I think. There we have it, friends, the top 10 most powerful alternate versions of Ant-Man. Which version of Ant-Man is your favorite and why is it zombie Ant-Man? Be sure you let me know down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video.